Hello and welcome to this Redux review of my Weytec MK06. It took me a long time to get everything in place for this review, so me and this keyboard have quite a bit of history together. I think either me or the keyboard is cursed, to be honest. It was well worth it though, because this is an excellent keyboard. About 3 years ago, I covered an MK06 I borrowed off of someone, which unfortunately was locked out of its user account, so I couldn't use it. He's since fixed it and then re-lent it to me, but it failed on me again, so I was stuck. Thankfully, right around this time, the son of one of the senior staff from Weytec spotted the original video, showed it to his dad, and then they got me this second-hand one for free to do a proper re-review of. Now, even just getting it here turned out to be a bit of a hassle, and then after some testing, this one stopped registering as well, but after leaving it unused for a while, it seems to have magically unfucked itself, and now I can finally show you this thing properly. Weytec is a Swiss company specialized in developing integrated IT platforms for work floors. Some of the markets they developed for are industry, airports and traffic control, security and public utilities, but possibly most prominently the economic sector, where they sell whole trading floors wholesale. The MK06 is an older product from Weytec. The first LCD screen Wey was the HK96, then the HK2000, and then came the MK06, which they stopped making in 2018 and for which support will be discontinued sometime this year. It has since been succeeded by the Weytec Smart Touch keyboard, their current version. The MK06 keyboard, at the time their flagship model, is capable of controlling up to 16 computers, local and remote, using a KVM, short for Keyboard, Video and Mouse, box, which is capable of connecting servers, computers and workstations over a wide range of protocols such as USB, PS2, RS6000, Bloomberg, EBS, Eurex, Instanet, SunSpark or Blade, DEC Alpha, VAX or VT, and quite a few others through some kind of magic integrated workplace thing. Among its seemingly endless list of features is the inclusion of 3 24-bit LCD color displays at 320 by 240 resolution, 24 programmable function keys capable of storing up to 96 different macros across 4 layers, integrated stereo speakers, an integrated calculator function, microphone and headset sockets, and 2 bays for optional modules such as a variety of customized keypads, a touch-sensitive display, or a fingerprint scanner. All in all, quite the piece of kit. You can definitely tell this wasn't some cheap piece of crap intended for the consumer market, but a hardcore dedicated corporate managing device. This particular MK06 comes with this optional keypad, which is for use with the Bloomberg family of trading tools. Bloomberg themselves also market a series of trading floor terminals, of which I reviewed an older keyboard as well, the Freeboard, all the way back in episode 27. Also, there's a seemingly strongly related Cherry G80 9009, which was developed for Thomson Reuters, who are Bloomberg's biggest competitors. Their current system, Icon, has been in use since 2010, so I think this one ran its predecessor, the Reuters 3000 Extra system. The Weytec is capable of running both Thomson Reuters and Bloomberg systems and actually offers keypads for use with either. Although this one only has the Bloomberg keypad, their brochure shows an MK06 with modules for both systems, replacing a workstation with a Bloomberg FRE100 keyboard and a Reuters D3D KB, for example. This dual Thomson-Bloomberg configuration is also all over the manual, so I'm guessing it was pretty popular. The MK06 was made for Wey by GMK, and apart from the network switches, it's the only part of the system Wey don't make themselves. The cost of a whole system is in the £2,000 ballpark. The Cherry 9009, which I also reduxed when I got it working a while ago, appears like it's nearly the same keyboard, but they're not made by the same people nor for the same ones, and Wey couldn't tell me anything about a possible link between the two. It's possible the two just had a common inspiration. Like the 9009, the MK06 comes with Cherry MX Clear, called MX Soft in their brochure, which is an ergonomic, stiff, tactile switch in the Cherry MX range. The idea being that the switch's extra stiff weighting prevents people from bottoming out, or at least bottoming out hard. Interestingly, unlike many other switches in the Cherry MX range, MX Clear isn't widely copied by Chinese clone manufacturers. Personally, I'm neither a fan of its stiff weighting nor of its flaccid tactility, but then again their current board apparently uses Cherry ML, so I guess this is always worse. The keycaps are also similar to those in the 9009. It uses the same extremely distinct pinkish red and soylent green colors, which are a Reuters thing. From what I understood from the manual, green keys deal with communications, while red ones are about deals. Meanwhile, the brightly colored keycaps at the top follow the Bloomberg color coding. The keycaps, like the rest of the board, were made by GMK. Many of them are their signature thick ABS double shots, but some are pad printed or perhaps die subbed instead. Of course, no specialty keyboard would be complete without some funky legends. The Bloomberg module in particular is full of evil-sounding terms like government, corporation, munitions, murmukater, and muttergi. There's quite a lot of buttons overall actually, 145 in total, more than an IBM battleship or even the Weytec battlecruiser, and several have secondary and or tertiary legends in various colors, although those are not double shot. Many of the status keys have LED windows in them too, and they can all light up both green as well as red. It's quite the beast, this thing. The build quality is pretty decent, although the top case is kinda thin plastic, the pan is much tougher, and the back structure in particular is very solid and contains 1,000,000 billion in and outputs. It's certainly not a small board, but it's not actually as giant as you might think it is, only 46 centimeters wide, or in imperial units, all y'all inch feet, which is less than a Model M for example, at around 49 centimeters, although it is deeper and taller. The total weight, sans cables, is just under 2 kilos, or in imperial units, like oh my god poundstones, which is not bad even for a board as big as this. It doesn't have a mounting plate though, exactly like the Cherry-made 9009. Let's talk about how it works for a second. When you first boot it up, it shows a whole slew of techno-babble gobbledygook on this screen here, followed by an ear-piercing screech. Thankfully, it only does this the first time you plug it in and start it up, and some other times, but it's not as if I'm hearing it every day or anything. As mentioned before, it could control up to 16 workstations at once. Here at the top you can see WS1 to 3 and here 4 to 6. Each has a status indicator in it to show which one is being controlled at the moment. The other workstations can be accessed using Shift or Control plus the WS keys. At the moment I'm using it through USB port 2, so it's indexed as Workstation 2 or PC1 on the screen. Here's the connector box. You stick one end of it in a power socket, this thick beige thing goes to the keyboard, and then a USB cable goes to the computer. It takes up a bit of space, and the beige cable sticks out a bit behind the already rather deep case of the keyboard, but thankfully I have this hollow monitor stand that works perfectly with it. It has a ridiculous amount of configurations available to it. As you can see from the manual, it's just pages and pages of configurability, which I'm not even going to attempt to understand. Most of it is done factory side anyway, as these were delivered to the customer ready to go. In fact, my purpose of controlling a single PC over USB with this thing could be considered to be beneath it, but I've made some good use of it anyway. They offer to program the display background with my YouTube channel art as well, but I think they forgot to. If you press Ctrl-Alt-System, it brings you to the System menu, which has a red background on it, as you can see. From here, you can do all sorts of port stuff, configure screen switching. Yes, it can do that too, by the way. Reset all kinds of functions, view and edit configurations, etc., etc. But I haven't used this menu all that much, to be honest. Oh yeah, and there's a mouse pointer. Did I forget to mention you can connect a mouse to this thing too? The user menu, which was much more relevant to me, is accessed with Alt-Graph plus System and has a purple background. This menu allows you to enable the calculator, I'll get to that in a bit, and determine what screen it appears on. I put it on the right one since that one is closest to the numpad, and best of all, macro keys. Now, in order to program macro keys, you go to the menu item called Macro Keys, you press Enter, then select the button that you want to program, let's say that one here, select an icon. There's 255 in total, but not all of them are in use. Let's just go for a red background or something. Yeah, there. Press Enter, then enter your legend. Let's go for testing 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 3 lines of text in total that you can use. Press Enter, enter your macro. Let's just go for TEST, and then finish that off with System again, and return to save your macro. Then it downloads the information and updates the keyboard. And when you're done programming macros, you press Escape and then any other key to exit the user menu. Like that. It definitely takes reading the manual to understand it, but it works fine. You don't need external software to do it, and it can store lots of macros in onboard memory with ease. Plus, the fact that you get to pick an icon and text and have it show up on the screen is just great. These are the default macros, by the way. You can cycle to the next pages with Prev, which shows a page with some special character key shortcuts that I made, and some acquisitions product numbers on the page after that, such as the ones for acetone, methanol, ethanol, IPA, and a bunch of consumables. If the Mac I am forced to use at work was capable of accepting macros, this would be fantastically useful for it. I don't know how to rebind the Bloomberg keypad's keys. The previously shown method doesn't work at the least, so I think it's just factory configured. Shame, because that would be another bunch of keys to toy with, but oh well. They can probably do it at the Weytec factory if you ask them in advance. This thing appears to be programmable in just about any conceivable way. Get it? Way. Finally, there's the calculator. If you've enabled it, you can switch to it with Shift plus numlock. You can do all kinds of operations with it, and it shows your history as well. Very nice. Having a calculator on your keyboard is underrated in my opinion. Just don't forget to toggle numlock back on after you're done. Anyway, overall, it's a very impressive keyboard. I love this thing. The only thing I don't like about it are the switches, which is just not really my bag. They're tiring to use and not tactile. Maybe I'll fit it with box click bar switches someday, if I dare mess around with it on the inside. That's it for this review. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. And following is a typing demonstration of me typing on this keyboard.